This is problem 7-109 from section 7.1.7. Rewrite f of x equals 2x squared minus 16x plus 34 in graphing form. Okay? This tells me I'm going to complete the square. Now, we don't want to have a coefficient besides 1 in front of x squared when you do completing the square. So I'm going to factor out. I'm going to change f of x into y and factor out a 2. So we do that from the first term. We've done that from the second term before. And I think some of you have been wondering, why don't I just factor it out from the whole thing? Well, we can. So let's do that. A lot of the times when we first showed you how to factor out the number from the first two terms, it was because the third term, it would have given you an ugly number left over if you pulled out a 2. Well, in this case, it's not. So I'm going to have, let's factor out 2 from the whole thing. And see if we get the same shape kind of answer, same format, you know. Graphing form is supposed to be like x plus 4 squared minus 12. Okay, should look something like that. So let's see if we really get that. Okay, so let's complete the square with what's inside the parentheses. I have my box. I'm going to split up equally minus 8x. So I have minus 4x, 4x. So I fill out the outsides. I should have a negative 4 out here, negative 4 out here. Okay, that's just based on the first two parts of my equation. So up in the top corner, I should have a positive 16. Right, I should have a positive 16. I have 17 though. I have 17. I have too many tiles. I have too many units. So I'm going to subtract 1. Okay, so when I do that over here, write it up here. So inside this parenthesis, I'm going to subtract 1. And then over here, I'm going to subtract 1 as well. But also, this 2 is being multiplied by this whole stuff. So I'm really not just subtracting 1. I'm subtracting negative 1 times 2 because of this 2 right here. Okay? So let's rewrite it. Y minus 1 times 2 is just a 2 equals, I'm going to write this quantity as a product. So I have the 2 that I factored out, but I want this as a product, which is my length times the width. So I have x minus 4, and I have 2 of them, so it's squared. Okay? So last thing I want to do is I want to get y by itself. So I'm going to add that 2 back over to the other side. So I add 2 back. Okay? So that's my equation in graphing form. So I still get the same format, even if I don't factor out a 2 from, or if I factor out a 2 from everything rather than not factoring out that 34. You can still do it factoring it from everything. The main reason that we factor something out is because we want that to be a 1. The coefficient from the x squared must be a 1 to do completing the square. And if it's not, we're going to factor it out first. Okay?